We are going live. Okay, let me know. According to the computer, or how do you say? The computer says we are live. Welcome everybody to the stream. My workstation is a mess because that's how it always is when I'm doing kind of crafting. when I'm having stamps and everything, it's always a mess. Normally when I'm just doing watercolors, not so much mess. But anyway, welcome. Okay, we hear you. Okay, I even forgot to ask if you guys hear me. I was just assuming everything is okay. So, welcome to my stream. What we're gonna do today? I was just doodling at one moment. I was just doing some doodles. Nothing special, and then I just realized like, I can do some kind of greeting cards. And by the way, I have my mouse here. I'm just trying to see if the stream is going good. Yeah, I can do some greeting cards because I had quite some watercolor paper. And first of all, I'm not very good at doing like any kind of writing or anything of that sort. So I just decided, okay, we're gonna do it differently. I'm going to stamp my sentiments because I have so many stamps with so nice sentiments. And then I'm just gonna draw, and I'm gonna doodle, and I'm gonna do flowers and leaves and stuff, and we're gonna do a bunch of them, and just we're gonna have some fun. Okay, so if you see, I have bright light up, so because this is plastic, it is going to show, right? But then once we get into the drawing and so on, it's not gonna be a problem. It's only a problem now while I'm doing the stamping. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I have a bunch of papers. I cut them down, by the way. I cut my papers down. I have a bunch of papers that are smaller, but I had cut these ones. I don't even know where I put them. Oh my goodness, I'm losing watercolor paper. Oh yeah, they're here. This is 5 by 6 inches. And then I can cut them down to 5.5 to 4.5 or something like that. And then I can these are just the front panels, and then I'll just adhere, after I cut a little bit of the margin, I'll just adhere them on front of cards. Have a bunch of cards. I'm probably not gonna do all of that tonight because I don't have the time, and I lost my glue. I broke the glue. Okay, I broke the glue, so I need to buy some new glue. But I'll do the front ones, and we're gonna do some doodling. I'm not gonna use the flowers or anything on these sets. I'm just gonna do my own, but I'm going to use the sentiments, and just we're gonna have some fun. Okay, and I have not touched my stamps or any stamping things for, can I say, since forever? Yeah, since forever. More than a year. 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. I had lots of stamps. I stopped buying stamps because I thought I'm going to just draw everything myself. I have also some black watercolor paper, and I'm gonna stamp with white, and then we're gonna do stuff with white. Okay, what do I have here? You guys can see this? Oh yeah, you guys can see this. I have my Misty tool. I haven't used the Misty tool in a very long time. And the Misty tool has some magnets to hold the papers. And I just did the magnets together. And it comes with a foam thingy, and with some papers, just so that you can. I'm just gonna do this paper away. And this paper is just so that you can arrange your stamp properly. Okay. And the nice part about the Misty is that you can put your paper in a corner, then you can arrange your stamp as you want it, right? And then you can stamp. And I have the big Misty. Nowadays there are the small Misty and the tiny Misty and the miniature Misty and and the XL Misty and so on. I don't have all those. My Misty is, I guess, some of the first generations Misties for a very long time. So not gonna lie. Now, what we're gonna use? Notice this stamp here. It has the word kind, which is the same stamp as I have here, and then they did a lot of doodles around, right? Which is nice. So we're gonna do something similar, but with my style of flowers, okay? And with this stamp. And basically, we're just gonna start this one, kind, yeah. And then we're gonna do our own things, and I'm going to pick up one stamp, like for example this nice thanks for everything. I have a few of these ones. These are from a Simon Says stamp. I don't even remember when I got them. And these are like really nice because these are like Corona times kind of stamps. It says, I'm here for you if you need to talk, you know, here to support you and so on. And I had some big plans with this one because I wanted to make some bears. I know, weird, right? I'm not gonna use this one. I was planning to use it, but no, I'm not gonna use this one. I wanted to use one of these big ones. I mean, some of this one. So the big ones, these are nice, right? And then let me see. I'm not gonna use this one. No, not tonight. So only these stamps. So I have a bunch of ones here, like let's catch up soon. Hey there, good looking, or miss you like crazy. And this one, this big one, I had these plans, and says you are simply the best ever. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess 8, 9. So about 9 we're gonna do. Okay, let's start. What do we usually do? We position our card. And by the way, I keep forgetting to say hi, but hello everybody. I'm taking it out of the package. Okay. And the stamps are really nice. And I'm going to position it where I want it. And I kind of want it in the middle. So I'm thinking it's 1 to 6 here, right? So it's a 3. 3 is where the N will be, kind of. By the way, I have a T-square ruler, so I make sure that if I would have stayed in the crafting world, I would have bought that transparent thingamungy that has a grid, so then I could have put stuff on the grid. But of course I'm no longer in the crafting world, so I have not bought anything interesting. Okay, so this is good here. Oh wait, the kind is good here. The question is it in the middle on this other side, which should be at around 2.5 inches. 2.5 is here. It's center. Oh, wait, making sure again that it is correct. Wow, this stamp is really sticky. You know why the stamp gets sticky? Because I haven't used it like in ever. I have not used it in forever. Let's put it this way. So I'm going to do this like this. I'm gonna say that this is kind of centered. And what we do now is we close the door, pop, and when you close the door you pick up the stamp, right? And now you just add ink. Okay, that's basically how we do it. So I'm going to do 1, 1, 1, 1. We'll see how that goes. Let me see, these ones were tinier. These ones were almost the same. So what do I have? I have VersaFine Onyx backing. By the way, because I'm planning to add water later on, I really need to make them waterproof. So that's the only one that I can use that is waterproof. And I'm going to prepare, I have a wet towel because I'm going to have to clean the stamp afterwards. So I don't want to make, I hate mess. I hate being messy. Sorry. So we're gonna do this. Okay. And we are prepared to make sure that there's no mess going on. Okay. Dun dun dun. Taking the stamp. We're gonna stamp. You notice. The reason why I'm doing this with the Misty is it's watercolor paper, cold press. It has a lot of tooth. So I need to ensure that, and I know that I'm going to have to stamp it again, that I always stamp in the same location. Otherwise, you know, the lines get doubled and all of that stuff. So I'm pressing really good. I'm making sure it's a really good impression. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do it again. Yeah, you see, it doesn't stamp all the way. So that's why you need to do it twice. And that's why you need a Misty to align everything again. Okay. Uh-oh. What did I do there? You see why you need a wet tissue paper? Because it's messy. Card making is messy. Maybe that's why I moved away from it. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. I'm doing it again. It's going to stamp in the same part. And making sure that I am doing this correctly. And now, what do you see? It's super black, right? So that's nice. I'm not gonna stamp it again. We clean the stamp and then we put it back. Clean, 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 clean. Again, I haven't done this crafting stuff, but I know that there are so many products nowadays for the crafting that can clean your stamps. It's almost like they're making self-cleaning stamps nowadays. So, you know, I'm just going to stamp a bunch of things. Okay. And then we're just going to start working. Okay, this is one stamp. Okay, what was the next stamp? These big tanks, and now the question is, these big tanks, should I do it like in a corner and do like, or more like to this side, and then do flowers like all around here? Because I don't want to do it in the middle anymore. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Let's try. So I'm gonna use that big tanks there. This is a one from Microfone. I like their phones. They're fun. Okay. I'm gonna reuse this paper, but then I'm gonna change the paper because I know it's the same size. So basically what I'm saying is I'm going to put it to the side here. Okay, and then the flowers are gonna be all around like this. And because I know I'm gonna cut some parts from here, and from down, so that's why I'm keeping it still quite centered. I'm closing the door, picking up the stamp, check, taking this one, putting it aside, and we're gonna do our doodle afterwards, right? Dum, 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 dum. And now another piece of paper in the same location. We're gonna do this dance quite a few times, okay? Don't despair. I'm putting it here. I know that it's the same size, and because I'm aligning it with the corner, I know it's gonna be in the correct part. You notice I haven't used this one in so long that the ink has dried out a little bit. I need to re-ink this one. I don't remember what I did with the re-inker, so I almost feel like it's fate that I need to start doing my own fonts as well. Okay, let's do it. Thanks. Okay, again. We do it again. Okay, does it require a third pass? Nah, it's okay. Okay, we got off easy. And now we're gonna clean it again. it feels like clean, 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 clean. Okay. And by the way, I want to leave that one there because what I want to do is I want to do something with the thanks one. Do not touch anything. I am such a klutz. Why am I such a klutz? Okay. Not with that one, but I want to use white ink and I'm going to stamp on black paper because we're gonna do something with black paper as well. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Again, I keep messing up the stuff here. Okay, this is a thanks, and with this thanks I'm going to have a paper, and the question is, where should I put the thanks? Okay, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to position it onto the black paper. Yeah, like this, more middle. Okay, I'm going to ensure that the paper stays tight. That's why you have these magnets here. They're tiny magnets, but they are very strong. I'm gonna pick it up again. And the tiny magnets apparently don't hold this paper. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's okay. And now we're gonna use white. What white do I use? This one. Why? Because it's the only one that I could find. I had made so many white inks, but for some reason this is the only one. And also for some reason it's oozing some weird other parts, but let's hope everything is okay. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, man. It's okay. Let's see. Oh, it works. It works. Okay. This is a really juicy pad. That's why I chose it. And all my other pads, I have not seen what happens. Okay. It messed up the S there, but doesn't matter. It's okay. It's okay. We'll survive. We'll survive. Now, remember, clean your stamp. If you don't clean your stamp and the ink is going to dry out, it's going to transfer to every other project you have, and that's not going to be nice. Not that I'm using these stamps very often, but you know, this one really I need to let dry somewhere good. White, it's a pigment ink and it dries like super slow, like the slowest of them all. Okay, what's been going on lately? I don't know, nothing special. We've been out and about on our own because, let's face it, the numbers don't look very well, so we try to stay away from other people. I did have to go to the office on Monday because I had my flu shot. Yes, I had my flu shot. Oh, we need to ensure that this one dries correctly. I'm gonna put it in front of me and I'm not gonna put anything on top. Okay. Next, let's take the big one. And I had the flu shot and there were many people there to get the flu shot because we get it at the office, which is nice. That company decided to do this for us. And we were all there. That was so funny. There was this old guy. He was doing the shots. As in he was administering the shots, and we were asking him like, hey, don't you have a lot of shots to do? Aren't you tired or anything? And he's like, yeah, when I was at the center for COVID, I used to do like 1,000 shots a day. And in here it's just 100 because there are not that many, well, there are not that many people. So he didn't have any issue. He was quite fast. He was like, when I say quite fast, he was very fast. I'm trying to center this one so that I can have some fun. This is gonna have very little doodling because I need to cut, you know. Okay. This gonna require a lot of times to stamp because it's a big stamp. I don't know if you know about big stamps, but sometimes big stamps are very big. And so on. So that I've been to the office. In my particular area, I think there were only 3 people, so I didn't actually meet that many people. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, we'll see how this one gets transferred. Oh wow, you see, being such a big one, you need to do it many times. You need to do it at least 3 times or 4 times. And I think the hardest part was going with the train because the trains, as usual, didn't work. You know, there's 2 things that the Dutch people will complain always. It's one thing is the weather, and the second one is the NS, which is the national rail. Because man, they are always, and I mean when I mean always, I mean always. Their trains are late. Their trains are cancelled. So what normally would have taken me 40 minutes, it transformed in 2 hours go, 2 hours return because of all of this stuff. So I arrived very late back home, and I think I arrived at 8:30 that day at home. Normally, that's why maybe in a way I don't necessarily like to go to the office, because if it takes me 2 hours to go, 2 hours to return, and don't get me wrong, normally it doesn't, right? Normally it doesn't, because normally if the trains would normally go, it's only a 40 minutes ride, so that's okay. 40 minutes is not that bad. I don't dare car because the traffic jams are just unbelievable. But yeah, you see, this is like the 5th pass or something for this one. My arm is hurting right now from trying to okay. I saw somebody that had a thingy that they were going back and forward. I don't know if that would work. I wished we lived closer. Pretty sure we would have do everything together. That is a really nice sentiment. I really do miss my friends, and I really do wish we would be closer to each other. Okay. If this doesn't work, I will just go with a black pen, and I'll just make sure that, yeah, I need to go over it with the black pen. It's okay. I don't think I can get a clear, I don't think I can get a clear one. It's too big. So I'm just going to use a black pen and maybe a black brush. I need to go search for my brush pens, and then it'll be fine. And I'm going to use also big one, but more smaller. Dum dum dum. This is even hard to clean. I'm going to be taking a lot of time just stamping and cleaning things. Wait. Where's my mouse? And I don't know why this is stopping. Okay. I hope the video didn't stop, but I was pressing buttons there. Okay. Let's do 2 more, and then we're gonna start the doodles, okay? Because otherwise it's going to take us forever. This is such a big stamp. Okay. Okay. This is saying, I wish I miss you like crazy, and this one was saying, you are simply the best ever. Okay, let's use these two for the next ones. And then this one, when I'm gonna get to it, we're gonna do it with the black pen. We're gonna do stuff. Okay, let's do this. I am just doing them in the middle, and I'm kind of eyeballing them. Let's be honest. This I am eyeballing, but it seems to be quite centered, so we're not going to worry about that one. Okay, how's everybody? How are you guys holding up? There's a lot of stamping going on. I should have maybe prepared this one in advance, but I didn't think about it. And it can be quite nerve-wracking when you're looking at it, because you're thinking, wow, that stamp is going to be, it's so dirty, but actually the pad will touch the places, but it's not going to transfer. Okay, I'm gonna do it a 3rd time, and then that's it. Everything else I'll do it with the black pen, brush pen. Okay, and this is the you are simply the best ever. Cleaning it up again. Putting it aside, and then I'm going to do Miss You Like Crazy. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do another paper. Again, the same spot. And I'm gonna do this one more down. The other one I put in the middle, and this one I putting in more down. Making sure that I don't transfer all the ink to the paper. Okay. Okay. Last one. The other ones, because I did choose another another one. I'm going to do, and I'm gonna post them on Instagram. And I forgotten why I gave up the card making. The stamping used to take me forever. Like the coloring is not that hard, but the stamping was the one that was like, okay, how do I arrange the stamps? How do I make the things? And then your arm starts hurting. How is it to do crafting again? Yeah, Johan is asking me exactly what I'm thinking right now. Now I understand why I gave it up, because you know, I used to go like, oh, I want to do a stamping project. And then I was starting stamping. And then it's like 2 hours later, I only finished the stamping and the arranging of the stamps. And then I didn't even get to the coloring. It's just like, it's exactly like I remember. Right? I do miss, you know, what you learn from stamping, you learn how to do composition and so on. So I do miss the freedom to just play around with some stamps and not have to think, how do I draw this? But yeah. At least if you have the other type of paper, right? The normal paper, not the watercolor paper, stamping is easier, right? I'm not gonna lie. But right now, stamping is a mess. Okay. And I'm going to put it like this. And I'm going to put away my tool as well. You don't want to know what's on that side of the desk. On that side of the desk is like crazy. It's crazy. Everything is together there. Okay. So now, if you excuse me, 5 seconds. I'm going to look for a brush pen. This is a brush pen. What I will do, I am not going to use the brush pen right now. I'm going to use it at the end. Why? This brush pen is from Pentel, but I do not know if it's waterproof, or I can test if it's waterproof. But what I'm afraid, if I go right now, right? I need to let it dry a little bit. Okay, I need to clean this part. Clean your area. Ink is the most messy part of all. Okay, I'm gonna throw it at the garbage. Because what happens if I'm gonna add watercolor and if I'm going with the Pentel on top, it's gonna make it dark, but then I have to be very careful with the water. So I don't want that. You want to have something that is waterproof. So I'm going to test it just in case, but don't expect. I am pretty sure it's not waterproof. Yeah, it's not waterproof. So I need to do the brush at the end. Once I'm done with the coloring, once I'm done with everything, I need to do stuff with the brush. I'm gonna use Micron Pens, and Micron Pens are waterproof and are high vol, so that's not a problem. I'm using 05, 03, I even have a 08 here, okay? And let's see, who do we start with? Let's start with this one, with the kind, okay? Why not? Is it centered? Yeah, it is centered. It is centered. Okay. So, or at least it's not really centered, it's more to this side. How did I manage to do this again? Not centered, man. So, what type of flowers should we do? Should we do tiny peonies or all around? So let me start like that. Let's think about composition. I have a pen here, pencil. So let's think about composition. there's gonna be a flower here, right? Leaf, leaves, and so on. Tiny flower, tiny flower, tiny flower. Big flower here, smaller flower here, and probably leaves, no, and then tiny flower, tiny, tiny, and then some all sorts of flowers and berries and so on and things. And then here another big flower here, and then some more all around. What, I had ink on my ear. I had ink. Why didn't I look good enough? See what happens when you have ink? You're just smearing it. Luckily it didn't dry very well, so I can actually erase it from the paper. But this is what we're doing. Yeah, so flower, 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 lots of things and leaves, and then I'm gonna add even more leaves and even more stuff. Here I want to do kind of berries, maybe here, or tiny flowers, or here tiny flowers, here berries. We'll think, right? This is kind of the composition, and I'm going to start with the 05. Let's start with the 05 and then we go. Why am I starting with 05? Because 08 might be kind of the same time as the same type of this kind. Okay, so now simple doodling. Let's see. Peony. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that we start with the peony, and I'm going to just going to doodle it, right? It's not gonna be it's not gonna be a full-blown peony like you guys know how I do them. It's gonna be a tiny one. Then we're gonna add all sorts of stuff. We're gonna add like details with maybe a 01 or something like that, right? So I had the peony there. Okay, that's one. A berry, another berry, and maybe a berry here. And then I'm adding these leaves here. Da-da-da-da. Okay, another leaf here. It's very rough. I know. Da-da-da. And this is just doodling. I'm just doing the simplest of leaves, like not my usual style leaves, but just imagine that this is just doodling. Because why am I saying this? Because I'm not usually doing this on a big piece of paper, so I cannot and I'm doing it freehand, so right. And I'm just going to add hints of color, so it's not gonna be full coloring. It's gonna be actually quite nice. And I'm going to rotate. This time I can rotate because it's easier when you rotate stuff. I'm gonna add details afterwards. Again, these are gonna be maybe some tinier flowers like this. Here, and then some more of the leafy things. Let's try like this. I'm adding as I go. Okay. Should have added here some stuff. These are some black lines, some black leaves, right? And then here I'm going to do on this other side another peony. It's very simple, the peony doesn't have to be complicated. Okay, and then a tinier anemone here. So let's see how we do this anemone. So you just go around the sentiment, and you just add flowers as you go, okay? And then we add leaves. Right, and more leaves. And then some more tinier flowers here. Right. And besides that, some more tiny leaves. The simplest doodles, man. The simplest doodles we can add. And now we look at it and we see, okay, which parts are not. I think some more leaves here. Maybe a bigger leaf here. Okay, so that it becomes a little bit bigger. In which direction do I still need? And then I'll add the details. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. We're gonna add details. These are some tiny ones. I think it might require us to do some berries. Okay, here. Right. I'm going to do more here. These are the full-blown black leaves. And what else? Da, da, da. There was one flower there, and maybe some tiny flowers here. I keep adding until I'm satisfied, okay? Okay. On this side, I need to add some more flowers. Maybe here and here. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to erase the lines because that's what is tripping you a little bit right now. And then I'm going to add all the details with the 03, and then you're gonna see how it looks like, and then we're gonna add watercolor to it. I'm gonna make it pretty. Okay, so I did 05 and now I needed a 03. Now let's start adding details, and the details I'll add as details to the leaves. And so on. This is like what I was imagining was that it's going to be much faster for me to do this. I never imagined that if I'm picking up to do card making again, it's gonna take me so much time. But now I'm realizing why is because I am trying very hard. I'm limiting myself to this size, and the fact that I'm limiting myself to this size, it's making it very awkward. Like normally my flowers, when I draw them, they will be much bigger. I'm not used to go in this size. I'm not used to do that anymore. So because it's so limiting, right, my flowers are looking a little bit maybe flat because I don't have the space, or I'm not used to anymore to do tiny things. I'm used to have enough space on the paper to do as much as I want, you know. So now that's the second reason why maybe I gave up on crafting. I used to feel that crafting was very limited because you only had a small portion to work with. You only had a small little piece to work with, and that little piece wasn't letting the creativity flow that much, right? Nowadays I know that they have the slimline cards and they have the big cards, and people try to do bigger, and I can understand why, because if you have a bigger surface, then you can do more details, you can add stuff to it. Right now there's not much you can do. You cannot add that many details and that many, you know. Okay. And I'm adding details to the flowers, and it's just a little bit of hatching to the flowers because I'm going to add some colors and I'm going to make it pretty. Okay, now making sure that this kind is very, very nice. Okay, now I'm just going to add some color, And what should I use? I should use the graphite palette. What do you guys think? Is that a nice palette to use? Because I'm thinking this is gonna be nice. And the reason why I don't do it all, because I know I'm going to cut from the sides and from down and from this sides and from this sides, right? So I know this white part is not gonna be all the white part there is. So there's two things that you can do when you have a piece like this. You can do all the inner parts, right? And then you can do a little bit of gray on the outside just to make it nice, or you just leave it without. So let's see. I would assume that I want to do the inside as well. So I'm gonna do the inside with this nice port, and the port is really nice because it's a really cool one. And I'm using a number 4 silver brush, and I'm gonna actually use 2 colors for the kind. I'm gonna use the port, and I'm gonna use the dark indigo from below, and I'm gonna mix them together. Yeah, that's a nice one. So you can see why my style is very similar to card making. My style is pretty much illustrative because I actually started with card making. Okay, I started doing cards for a very long time. I was doing cards and I loved it, and then I started wanting to make my own. Want to make my own illustrations, so that's why I went into more illustrative. But I still am the person that was doing cards, and I never liked to do the freestyle watercolor or the no line or stuff. It's not something that interests me, but this kind of style of illustration, there's something to be said about it. Okay, so this is how you can make your own illustrations and your own cards. Okay, the flowers are gonna be very nice and light and so on. Just the center is gonna be much more bold and all that stuff. Okay, this is nice. And let's see. I'm using some red for some berries and for some of the flowers. And by the way, the graphiting palette is very muted palette, and this is gonna be very simple coloring. There's one other thing that I moved away when I used to do card making, is that because a lot of times the illustrations and the designs are so tiny, it's very hard to do gradients. It's very hard to do anything of note. It's very hard to add a gradient. It's very hard to make shading, and because everything is so tiny. So it's not something that I'm missing, but for some reason I just wanted to pick it up again. Maybe in a way I'm feeling a little bit conflicted because I have all these stamps, but I never use them. In the last year or so, I have not used them whatsoever. So I mean, I'm feeling like, hey, I paid all this money. So the question is, why am I not using these stamps? Why am I not using all this cool stuff? So I feel guilty because I have them, and then whenever I want to buy new ones, I always guilt trip myself, and I'm saying, oh, but I have so many stamps, and then I can't buy new ones. Although Let's be fair, I do like some of the designs. Some designs are so cute and I want to buy everything, but I'm trying really hard not to, and I'm trying really hard to do everything by myself. Okay, I'm going to add some red to this one because, to be honest, it needs a little bit of pizzazz. Okay. Tum tum tum. So I think there was a petal here also. Yeah, those are petals as well. Oh, you know what's going on? I have a light upstairs, which is so interesting. And that light, I'm gonna do these ones with yellow. It's so bright that I have put a kind of a diffuser on top of it, which is just a piece of vellum, but it is done. The piece of vellum, it is held apart by tape, and that tape in particular has decided to go away. My husband is helping me now. Don't know why I can't find some tape that is seriously holding the vellum. I mean, how hard is it to hold some vellum? It's not that hard. Okay. Don't worry. Let's see. What else is this? Is juniper. It's a really tiny flower. Okay, I'm noticing that I need to concentrate way more because of such a tiny design that I've done, and it's interesting. What you could do if you get bored and you don't want to do this, you could always just do some blobs of color and then you do blobs of color and then that's it. And it doesn't matter when you do blobs of color if you go over the line or not, but of course I'm not recommending that because it's not my style. My style needs to be neat and clean and pretty and all of that. So we're gonna try really hard. And when I mean really hard, I mean really, really hard not to have this. I'm noticing that I need to have maybe a second coat of color, especially on the red. The red could be stronger. Okay. So I'm doing the red, and maybe even this one's the juniper. I'm gonna do a little bit stronger. Okay. Tum tum. Yep. this one, the port. Yeah, I'm gonna do much stronger here. Okay. I think I need to do this color here. I try not to use too many colors, so I'm gonna use that color here. And this one to do with red and yellow. Okay. And what we do is we add water and we do stuff with water. The nice part about the graphite tint is that it can become pretty transparent if you add enough water. I think that's not a problem. So we're gonna do a little bit more. You see that now I've just decided, like, okay, it's too tiny to even bother. I'm just gonna go around and then I'm going to add water. I'm gonna pull the color and then I'm going to come with the red and gonna mix it in. Then we're gonna do the leaves and it's gonna be pretty nice. So we're gonna add some red. Okay, what did I learn? This is just something that I did here as a, how do you say, warm-up, man, as a warm-up. Okay. The sentiment is very bold, and when I used the Micron pen, okay, I think I used it wrongly because I used the number 5 and I think I should have used the number 8, because look at this, the flowers are kind of lost. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I should have used a thicker line or a thinner line, or how is that going? This is a tiny flower. Okay. Okay. Yep. I think it works. It's giving contrast. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I think you could think of it this way. The tiny leaves I want to do with this slate green. Slate green is like a more of a bluish green. And I'm going to do the tiny leaves with it. Okay. And then the other leaves I'm going to do with the other green, which is more of an olive green. So we're gonna have an olive green and an sorry, I need to use the slate for this one. And a neony green. So the neony one will be on top and the olive green will be on the bottom. Tum tum tum. Right. And now neony green here, and this one, and this one. Pool with water. So this is very simple coloring. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you're doing card making, you don't really have the option to do very fancy coloring. Because the images are too small. And that's fine. We're not gonna judge it or anything, right? This is a really dark green. I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna put only a little bit here and there. A little bit of this graphite tint goes a long way. Okay. And this is the last one that we're doing it. I'm not even bothering with second layer, third layer, fourth layer, because it makes no sense whatsoever. But I am going to add white gel pen as usual. If flower lines were the same, then the text would get lost. That is true. That is true, right? So this is what happens when you don't wait for it to dry. What I wanted is this one to be a little tiny bit darker. Yep. And this one to be a bit, tiny bit darker. Okay. It really lifts it up if you add just some tiny dots, because you don't want it to be lost there. Okay. I am quite happy, and that's because I know I'm going to cut. I know I'm going to cut all around. I'm going to fix this part here where I went over the line, and then this can be on top of a card, and this can be done. Okay, it doesn't have to be more complicated than this. That's it. Doodling. Okay. Okay, let's do another one. This was a test. Can I say this? This was a test. Yes, this was a test because it was the first one. Let's do the thanks one. This is a nice one. Let's do the thanks. And what should it be? Now on the thanks I can actually do a bigger flower on the thanks. And and of course this is gonna be leaf, you know, leaf, and then here some different things. I think I did the design wrong. It should be at least, it should follow a direction, so we should follow like this. All right, so yeah. Okay. What flower should I do now? I should do, okay, let's try it. I should do a rose and tiny roses. I'm going to do again with the 0.5. And the way I start with the rose is I start with this three things. So it's like a petal, and you always do it like a sort of triangle, and then these petals, then the petals start to take a different shape, right? And you start doing different shapes of petals, and maybe they're curved or not, right? Okay, and we're gonna draw behind, right? And then we're gonna have to draw behind. Okay, like this. What did I do? I messed it up. Why didn't I clean myself? Okay, I messed it up. How could I continue like this, man? If I didn't know any better. It is as if I didn't know any better. I cannot do this. Okay. I'm going to clean my hand. I'm going to clean my hand, and I'm going to throw away this one. This was a nice try, but since my I cannot utilize this one, and I do not like the 0.5. I need to have my pen. Okay, pen. Let's try here. Let's try this one. And now I'm making sure that I'm not having ink on my fingers, because if I keep having ink on my fingers, I'm gonna mess it up. Okay. Big flower here. Smaller flower. And I want to do some leaves here. This is gonna be smaller, even smaller, and then this is gonna be tiny flower here, and then here, you know, lots of leaves, and then maybe tiny flower, and then that's it. Okay, so what we gonna do? We're gonna do a different type of flower, and I'm starting with the center, and I'm going to add lots and lots of stuff. I'm going to make some signs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like a heart shape. And this one is gonna be like this, and this one is gonna be like this, and I'm going to have one like this, and another one like this. It's gonna have lines all around. Okay, and then I'm going to have a center here. I'm going to have all this stem in here. Okay, and then I'm going to do again like it's a heart shape. Okay, and then this is a turned petal here. Okay, and then maybe I'll do another one here. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that I make some of the lines darker. Okay, just to, and when you do doodling, you can double some lines. That's not a problem, right? You can just show that you're doodling it. Okay, and then this one is gonna be turned around like this. We're gonna okay, see? Okay. And this one needs a leaf here, right? And maybe another tiny leaf here like this. And then here we're gonna do different type of flowers. Okay. And these flowers have stamen. Okay. What else should we do? There was which direction? That had a direction. For some reason I'm feeling like I made this one from front, this one from this side, this ones are that way. So I need to do something here. And we're gonna do something like this. And these are the simplest leaves I can do. And let's turn this one around. And to be honest, I'm thinking actually here will be much better a leaf. And just feel like we need to do these tiny leaves. So okay. I'm just doing tiny leaves here and there. Not very talkative, huh? When you're doing doodling, it's very hard to talk because your mind is like, okay, where do I do the next doodle? Where do I do the next thing? And to be honest, it's very hard to concentrate, to actually talk. It's so weird. Right? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So now, just adding the details on the leaves. In my mind, I had this idea that I'm gonna be able to do a bunch of cards really fast, and this thing's gonna not take me a lot of time. You know what I'm finding in reality is no matter if you're doing tiny things or big things, it still takes a long time, and it's time spent, right? Okay, I'm going to have to erase things. It looks a bit weird when you have the pencil lines. And like I said, I'm going to do the black afterwards. Okay, so let's do the easiest watercoloring. We're gonna try to do it like this. Again, whenever I'm doing crafting, somehow my desk becomes like a war zone. Why do we have to have a war zone every time I'm doing this? And okay, I'm leaving lots of white space, and I'm going to add some more layers afterwards for this one because this flower is a bit bigger. I'm gonna just add very loosely some big layers. Look how much it changes when you add color. It is amazing how much it changes. It's so weird. It's like line art. Line art evokes something, and then you add color, and then it totally changes the atmosphere, right? Okay. I'm using the port for the second one. Okay. And I'm going to really leave it pretty controlled here. I'm taking some of the color away, and then I'm going to darken up the things next to the base. Okay, we're gonna do some yellow, why not? Yellow is a nice color. Yellow is always nice, man. I was saying yesterday on Instagram, because I did that monochromatic one from the last, you guys know, the last live stream. And it used to be that blue was my favorite color before, when I was younger. And I used to dream, literally used to dream, that I'll have a blue Peugeot convertible. That used to be my dream. Don't know why I was so, it's like, I guess when I was young, they used to do these commercials about the Peugeot, and it was always blue. And that's what I had in my mind always, which is funny. But now, let's say my tastes have changed a little bit, and now my taste is, I am more towards yellow. Oh, okay. Somebody has woken up. Hello, Happy. Welcome. The Hub Master is here. So have no fear. We are all good. The Hub Master is here. He sat exactly on the white, on the black paper. It's gonna be full of hairs on the black paper that I stamped with the white ink. Man, I catch no break today. I'm pretty sure that what I'm going to have to draw on it is gonna be full of hairs. And we're gonna have some here. No, don't eat my, why are you eating my paper? Hop, don't eat my paper. The Hub Master is the funniest guy in the world. He just goes like, I have arrived. You know, basically, I have arrived. Hi, how are you? Did you sleep well, Happy? Did you sleep well? Where were you sleeping? Tell me, where was your lair today? You know what he's doing? He's changing spots. Every time he's changing spots. There is not one particular night where he's like, I'm sleeping in the same spot over and over again. No. That's not happening. Hi. You're not gonna let the people see. Oh, now he's trying to eat my oh no, Happy, what did you do? What did you do? Wanna see the black paper? Wanna see what happened? Let me exemplify. Happy, you sat on it. This is what happened. Why? Because the ink is, like I said, not drying very fast. And yeah, Happy, why are you eating it now? You made a boo-boo here. You see what you made? You made a boo-boo. You put your paws into it and it wasn't dry yet, because pigment inks dry very, very, very bad. Okay. This live stream did not go as planned at all. I had such bright ideas, and you know, it's not going. No. You are allowed to stay in front of me, Happy, okay? But can you please let mommy work? Okay, stay there, stay in front. I'm not gonna bother you. Just let me work, okay? Can you please do that? What do you say? What do you say? Hub art. Yes, hub art. I should have just let him put his stamp all over the place and just not bother. Like, you didn't even need to draw all this stuff because he was there anyway, right? He could have just gone kitty art. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about you. He's such a sweetie. Yeah, now he's observing. He's like, oh, what does daddy do here? Oh, I'm gonna go to daddy now. Yeah, go to daddy. Go to daddy. step on the ink once more, because just for good measure, thank you. Just for good measure, he stepped on the ink one more time. Why did I think that crafting is gonna be easy? Getting back into crafting. Why did I think that? I thought that crafting would be easy, but no. Okay. While he's gone, we will try to finish this card. Okay. Okay. Dum dum dum. And then I'm doing the tops of the flowers a different color. I'm really trying to I'm going to pull the color out. It's not gonna be all. And this one is gonna be nice, and then that one is gonna also be nice, and then that one is gonna be dark. Okay, there we go. It's very simple doodling, not doing anything special, because it's not. What I realized after doing this, I realized that in my mind, doodling would have been very easy. But because I got used so much in actually drawing very realistic flowers, I missed the doodling aspect. So I haven't practiced that in a while. And I am surprised to see, oh, hello, Happy. I'm surprised to see how much I lost my touch with doodling. I mean, I was thinking I can get back into it because, hey, I'm doing realistic flowers, but man, you do need to practice, and you do need to practice every skill, because to be honest, I think this is not easy. My kudos to the girls and boys that are doing doodling every day. It is still a hard skill to have. It is still a hard skill to try and say that you master, because to be honest, look, I haven't done doodling in like more than a year now. No, happy, no. How can I say no to him? He's such a cutie. Hi. Just please don't eat my brush. Oh yeah, now he's bothering the black paper again. Luckily, I just decided that it's not worth it anymore. But yeah. I'm just gonna go over the lines in some areas. It's okay. We're gonna embrace the doodling, you know? We're just gonna embrace it. I'm gonna say, okay, whatever, man. Okay. I'm gonna embrace this one as a doodle. And this one. Is because I cannot let go of the control. So you see, these flowers are half doodle, half whatever I made them. And because I cannot let go of the control that I got used to doing the other flowers, like the more realistic flower, this is what's happening. and doesn't make me, let's say, very happy or anything. I promised you guys that I will do something with a really black pen, and this is what I will do. If I can find out. Don't tell me, Happy, that you're sitting on the black pen. Can you? Oh no, you're not sitting on the black pen. He's not sitting on a black pen. So this is a Pentel brush pen, and I'm going to make sure that the black of this sentiment is really black. And then that's gonna be the last one that we do. Unfortunately, the white one the black paper got screwed by Happy. So Happy, if I need to blame you for not doing the one with the white gel pen, unfortunately. I need to blame you. Yeah, you are to blame. No. Okay. I really need to protect my peace from him. He's like, I'm going to sit down and I need to get Okay. Yes. You're gonna get your pets, but please do not put your fur into my piece here because it's gonna mess it up. Okay. If you're wondering why I don't do more art, it's because it's very hard to find a time when this dude is not awake, and it's very hard to find a time when I can work without being disturbed by him. Crazy. I cannot live without him, but also having him is sometimes crazy. Hi, Happy. Okay. Normally I would add white gel pen on all of these areas, but now it's still wet because I'm oh yeah, you wanna eat it? Okay, Happy, don't worry. Don't worry, you're okay. Okay, but this is the last one that we can do today because Happy is not allowing me to do. And remember, we did this one, right? But this is kind of how you can make your own doodles. Just do your own flowers and just use the sentiments that you have. That is the easier one. Okay. Say hello to everybody, Hub. Say hello and say goodbye. Yeah? And I'll see you guys next time because this guy is really like now deciding he wants pets. Oh, thank you, Marlena. It's lovely and gorgeous. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for joining me. It has been fun. I've learned a lot. And, we're going to just continue learning. This is why the live streams are, right? Live streams is not for the real art, but it's really for learning. Okay.